What up, y'all? Welcome. Usually get started around the 5-minute mark. Tonight we're talking about Casita Maria, DJ Flash, Cowboy, Simpson Street. Keep it locked. This one is going to be a good one. Let's go. As you come on in, please let us know where you're from. Check into the chat. Let's keep it respectful tonight. Welcome. I'm your host, Dr. Derek Cologne. Once again, let's keep it respectful, y'all. We can agree to disagree agreeably. Let's bring out some history. Here we go. Also, go to your platforms and let everybody know that we are live right now. Go to your platforms. Let everybody know we're live right now. Shout out to Hulk 777. Shout out to Randy. As we engage with the trolls, if the trolls show up, let's engage with facts, factology. Let's not engage with insults. Let's engage with facts. Truth over lies. Let's go. All right. What's up, y'all? Welcome to another episode, another live episode tonight. I'm so amped about tonight's episode. We're going to be talking about a little bit about the documentary Simpson Street. We're going to be talking a little bit about Casita Maria. Yeah, we're going to get it in tonight. But welcome, y'all. Let me get to the chat, to the comments. See what's up. Before we get to that, we're going to address an elephant in the room. Again, man, I like to just bring truth, facts over lies, truth over lies, light over darkness. Let's go, man. We in here, man. So there is a great article that was done a couple of weeks ago. I did a really good talk on the Jamaican sound clash culture. And in that talk, you know, people have brought up the fact that, well, you know, they were doing this in Brooklyn before Kool Herc. Well, yeah, that's true. That's true. And what I want to show you is who was doing it in Brooklyn before Kool Herc. So let's do this really quick. I'm going to bring something up. I'm going to see how this works. I'm going to share my screen. Yeah, this is it right here. Boom. Share. And let's see if it's up. And we're going to add this to the stage. Yes. In fact, I'm going to just make it bigger. Come on now. What do I want? I want to get this out of here. I want to add this. Okay. Let me get rid of this real quick. Remove. It's not what I wanted to do, but I'll bring it back. Okay. All right. This is about as big as I could get it, right? So I'm going to just leave this up. This is an interview that was done with Troy L. Smith, Jaquan, I believe Mark Skills. All of them were involved in some way, but I think Troy L. Smith was the one who did the actual interview. And I want to read something from this particular article that speaks to the fact of the Brooklyn Queens DJs, but where did they get it from? Again, man, this all, excuse me, this all points back to sound clash culture. Period, point blank. We're going to just debunk the myth, and then we're going to move on. Here we go. I'm reading. Let's see if y'all could see where I'm reading from. Yeah, let me see. If you follow me, just follow me. The article's right there. It's going to be the second paragraph from the top. Let me just read. Actually, let me read from the top. Troy asks Kool D a question. He says, it seemed as though the crews with the large DJ equipment came from middle-class parts of Queens and Brooklyn, opposed to the Bronx and Harlem, where they were less than middle class, too broke or poor. So that was why I always felt they had more equipment in Brooklyn and Queens, because their parents had more money, better paying jobs. Kool DJ D responds by saying, well, I wouldn't put it that way. These guys were a little bit older than we were back then, and they all had jobs, and that drug dealing situation out there was hellified, as well as a lot of Brooklyn DJs made their equipment. Most of them were from Jamaica. Oh, let me stop again, man. Listen. As well as a lot of Brooklyn DJs made their own equipment. Most of them were from Jamaica, or their parents were from Jamaica. And they knew about making big speakers over there and brought that same tradition over here. Those are the words of Kool DJ D. The words of Kool DJ D. Fact over fiction, truth over lies. Stop playing. That answers that nonsense. Stop playing. That answers that nonsense. Okay, so now let's get into Casita Maria. And what I want to do is I'm going to put up, what's the first thing I want to do? Let me do this. I'm going to play a video first. I'm going to share my screen. Let me share my screen real quick. Actually, yes, I'm going to stop the screen. We're going to share the screen. Boom. And I'm going to go here to, yes. Going to look at this. All right. Let me see if it's up here. I'm going to put it right here. Boom. Yeah. All right. So what I want y'all to do is I want y'all to check out this little modern day. This is a modern day video on Casita Maria. We got to talk about Casita Maria because there is a clip that I believe this documentary was done in 77, released in 79. I could be wrong. I know it says 79, but I believe it was 77. And we're going to talk about that clip, but we want to give you some background about a little bit about Casita Maria. So check out this video. Here we go.
Welcome to the Hunts Point Longwood community in the South Bronx, often referred to as the poorest congressional district in America. And according to an annual health report, lowest ranked county in health factors and health outcomes. But that's not our story. What defines the people of Hunts Point Longwood is grit, resilience, and a determination to succeed. And in the heart of this historically marginalized community, there's a place that serves as an oasis, a sanctuary for hope and growth. Welcome to Casita Maria, Center for Arts and Education. Casita Maria is where generations of local residents have found a home away from home. A place to gather, play, create, learn, and grow. Providing vital support in arts, education, and community and youth development. It is a beacon of inspiration, igniting passions and nurturing the limitless potential within each individual. With the power of the arts and a grounding in education, we celebrate the strength of our community and create a brighter future together. Join us at Casita Maria Center for Arts and Education, and let's shape the future together.
All right, so Casita Maria is a hallmark in the Fort Apache area of the Bronx, Simpson Street. And what I want to do is I'm going to put up this little article. I'm going to add this to the stage. Okay, I'm going to remove this. Boom. Stop the screen. We're going to add this. Okay. Now, for the sake of, I can't make this bigger for some reason, but that's okay. I'm going to be reading it from the article on my phone. Okay? Excuse me. All right, so I'm gonna be reading it. But the article says, Casita Maria, a home to Latinos for 70 years. Now, I'm not sure when this particular article was written, but I believe it's longer than 70 years now. Okay, I would say probably closer to 90 years, but who's counting? All right, here we go. So Casita Maria, a home to Latinos for 70 years. Let me read. Ed Sullivan's Really Big Show ran for 23 years, but the charity founded by two of his relatives is still going strong at 70. Casita Maria, founded in 1934 by public school teachers Elizabeth and Claire Sullivan, will celebrate its 70th year of service tomorrow with an awards breakfast at the New York Botanical Garden. Casita has been a beacon to immigrants since its founding, said Lou Ann Elder, the executive director and CEO of Casita Maria. which is New York's oldest charity devoted to serving the city's Hispanic community. Now, whoa, we got to stop right there. Founded in 1934, it was dedicated to serving the city's Hispanic community. All right. I want you to pay attention to that. All right. Now, established at a time of surging immigration from Puerto Rico, Casita Maria took on the work that earlier settlement houses and mutual aid societies had done for past immigrant waves from Europe. Early efforts focused on practical matters such as language classes, housing help, and employment advice to help the new arrivals assimilate into American society. As the initial group of Puerto Rican immigrants began raising children in the city, Casita Maria's mission shifted to helping prepare the second generation to pursue the American dream that had drawn their parents. Okay, so now we're getting to the meat of the matter. Okay, we're getting to the meat of the matter. It became apparent that we needed to concentrate on education, said Eldar. Casita Maria at 928 Simpson Street has comprehensive programs for kids ages 6 to 17 that include literacy development, tutoring, career exploration, computer instruction, and sports and after-school programs and summer day camps. Teenagers can participate in Casita Maria's career development program, which includes workshops, field trips, and summer internship opportunities. We want to make an educational impact that would have a larger economic effect in the community, Eldar said. In addition to academics and sports activities, Casita Maria runs innovative arts programs in collaboration with the Youth Orchestra and the American Ballet Theater. The Make a Ballet program lets young dancers help choreograph their own ballets. The group has performed at the Apollo Theater and the Metropolitan Opera House. Casita Maria recently received a federal grant for its art education program from, of all places, the Department of Justice. The money comes from a fund earmarked for programs that engage at-risk youth. I don't like that term at risk, said Eldar. It sounds like there's something bad about them that we have to prevent. But this is about opening doors and giving them opportunities. Last year, Casita Maria served nearly 14,000 individuals and families with its after-school and summer camp programs, health information and referrals, homeless intervention, and emergency assistance and services for homebound seniors. End of the article. Now, here's what I want to get to. I just had a very interesting conversation with somebody who did an interview with none other than Norrin Rad. He just did the interview, and they talked about Casita Maria. And they talked about it as if this was an exclusively African American spot, an exclusively African American neighborhood. I just got off the phone before the live with the gentleman that was interviewed by Norrin Rad. He contacted me. And he said, Casita Maria there wasn't a lot of Puerto Ricans in there. It was all blacks. And I told him, man, you bugging. You gotta be bugging right now. because of the history of where this place is. The South Bronx, the 70s. Nah. But there's a great there's a great documentary called Simpson Street. And yesterday I did a little short clip because in the movie Microphone Check, Tariq Nasheed brings out the fact that we found footage from the 70s of Flash and Cowboy. I'm paraphrasing. And look at who it shows. It only shows Black Americans. At first glance, it would seem that is the truth. But upon closer examination and understanding where this place is and what the community was, I just read you the article. This community was created, Casita Maria was created to cater to the Hispanic community, but also the Black and brown community, because Black and brown people lived in that community. So, let's see what this is. I'm going to play the little video I did yesterday. I'm going to stop it at certain points, give some commentary, and then we're going to talk a little bit more. But I'm amazed. Here's what I'm amazed at. The level that people are going to try to erase. You are going to tell us that a place called, listen to it, Casita Maria didn't have Puerto Ricans there until the 80s. What are you smoking right now? What's wrong with y'all? Like, the erasure is seriously troubling. Nah, you gotta be seriously delusional to know about that neighborhood and to say you lived in that neighborhood, and the only people that were on that rooftop or in the basements with Flash, Cowboy, Melly Mel, Cordio, all the people they were shouting out were only Black people. But yet the community and the people who frequented Casita Maria were Latinos, were Puerto Ricans, were New Yorkers. And you're going to tell me they didn't show up at the jam. But I have some footage that shows the lie. The lie. Because we don't know if those people were African American. We don't know if those people were African American. We know Flash was. Well, no, he's actually Bahamian. Or wait, where's he from? Is he from Bermuda or the Bahamas? I forgot. He's Caribbean. And so we know Cowboy. We know, okay. But we're talking about the people that we're going to see in this video clip of them doing the hustle. Ain't nobody b-boying, nobody breaking. Flash is playing Apache while Cowboy is on the mic doing what I call the yes, y'all. Let's watch this. I'll get into the comments in a minute. Let's watch this. I'm going to share my screen. Here we go. Boom. 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 All right, y'all. Let me make sure it's right over here. And it's not. Man, why does this keep happening? Okay. Should be good. All right, here we go. I think this is it.
This scene is taken from a documentary on Simpson Street in the South Bronx. This is where Flash and Cowboy are rocking on a neighborhood rooftop.
You see Grandmaster Flash right there? You saw them doing the hustle, which, as quiet as it's kept, is a Latino dance. Don't let anybody fool you. Don't believe the hype. Let's go back a minute. We're going to go back a minute. All right, it starts off this little clip.
This scene is taken from a documentary on Simpson Street in the South Bronx. This is where Flash and Cowboy are rocking on a neighborhood rooftop. If you notice, it seems like there's only African Americans on that rooftop. But let's look closer.
My roots here are practically all taken out. They're all burnt out. The school that I went to, the grammar school, is now an empty lot. The casita still remains, you know, and it's something that this neighborhood needs, because actually casita right now is the heart of the neighborhood for the kids coming up.
Now, if you notice, the same party on the roof where Flash and Cowboy are rocking.
Boom. Here's the same party. A different angle. And you see the young lady right there. That's a Puerto Rican. You mean to tell me, in a largely dominant Puerto Rican area, like Simpson Street, that the only people that were going to show up there was one Puerto Rican? You mean to tell me that there was no other Puerto Ricans on that roof? Stop it. Stop it. Let's keep going. She's right there.
That looked like a Puerto Rican girl doing the hustle on the roof.
We can help the kids around here. The kids will help the neighborhood.
Simpson Street was a mixture of black and Puerto Ricans together.
All right, so let me do this. We're gonna come back here. I'm gonna remove this real quick. Stop the screen. Let me get myself back in here. Boom. So y'all tell me. What was it? What was it? I know where Simpson Street is. You forget I'm from the Bronx. I know where Simpson Street is. I know where Fort Apache was. I know where all that was. Okay, I have family in those areas. And you can't tell me for 1 minute that the dominant group was African American with a couple of Puerto Ricans in the 70s. You're lying right now. Now you're lying on purpose. And you said, look, we got the footage. You don't see them, but we just showed you. And again, there could have been other people on that roof that were dark-skinned Puerto Ricans. But make no mistake about it, that area of the Bronx is Puerto Rican and black. Heavy concentration of Puerto Rican. And then you're going to say a name. You're going to say, this dude that I just spoke to actually told me Casita Maria was all black. What? Think about the name of the place, dude. It's called Casita Maria. And I just read you the article. I'm going to read it. I'm going to read the opening caption again. Look what it says. Casita has been a beacon to immigrants since its founding, said Luann Eldar, the executive director and CEO of Casita Maria, which is New York's oldest charity devoted to serving the city's Hispanic community. And Flash and Cowboy are emceeing. Flash is rocking Apache. Cowboy is emceeing. And people are doing the hustle. Hip-hop together. You can't deny this. You could try to deny this, but you can't deny this. And then the dude that I spoke to on the phone said that the people who were mainly in charge of Casita Maria were African Americans. You see the level that people are going to. It's real, y'all. This is the level that people are going to. Okay? We're going to show you the clip again. I just want to see what the comments are saying. Y'all have at it. Y'all have at it. Y'all have at it. Let me see what the comments are saying. I'm going to go back up. Let me shout out some people right now. Yeah. Randy's in the house. Hulk 777 is in the building. I see. Let me see. I see Sox Fan 73. Truth Teacher is in the building. Lean Grippy. It said Daily News, Sunday, Sun 20, 2004, page 114. Yeah, what's your point, bro? I don't know what your point was. It's an article about Casita Maria. You see what I'm saying? Like, I really don't think these people have reason. They don't have reason. They can't reason. They I don't know what they lack reasoning. Like, nobody said the article was from back then. It's a report about Casita Maria. Yeah. Okay. Who else we got here? Oh, Lean Grippy is okay. My fault. Boom. Boom. Barbados. All right, yeah. Flash from Barbados. So, let me just see, man. Let's see. Yeah, let's see. Hulk says, Dr. Cologne, the two little girls are wearing Casita Maria t-shirts. They appear to be Afro-Puerto Ricans. I'm not sure if they're Afro-Puerto Ricans. I'm not sure if they're African Americans. But I know together. Again, together. You're not going to tell me that they're hustling to Apache and an MC, as we saw. Look, man, we're gonna comment right now. We're gonna go back to it. Let's get back into it. Now we're gonna share the screen. Let's get back into it. Here we go. We're gonna get back into it. We're just gonna slow it down, and we're gonna get back into it. All right. So watch. I'm gonna stop it.
This scene is taken.
Now look. She was just spinning, right? She's just spinning.
From a documentary on Simpson Street and the
Now, what the dude told me that I spoke to, he said the only people that ever went to the roof or the basement were African Americans. There were no Puerto Ricans on the roofs of the basement. They wouldn't come there. Come on, man.
South Bronx. This is where Flash and Cowboy are rocking on a neighborhood rooftop. If you notice, it seems like there's only African Americans on that rooftop. But let's look closer.
Now, the one thing that's important to understand, that when you watch the documentary, you clearly see a combination of Black and Puerto Rican people in large numbers in that area. So again, make this make sense. Make this make sense. I got to get back on screen for this. Make this make sense. I need you to make this make sense. Make this make sense. Get that off the screen. So it's just like the whole adage with the gangs, right? Well, the gangs in the Bronx were predominantly Puerto Rican, with black members in the gangs. You have black gangs with Puerto Ricans in the gangs. You look at the Whole Avenue Peace Treaty meeting, the majority of the gangs, Puerto Ricans. Ain't no doubt about that. The video don't lie, right? So, with this, you want to try and say that because Flash, Cowboy, Mel, and them were up there, that the only people that could have been up there were African Americans. But the entire neighborhood, the documentary shows the neighborhood. So the entire neighborhood is Puerto Rican and black, but the Puerto Ricans wouldn't go up there. But yet we saw a Puerto Rican female doing the hustle, which comes from the Puerto Rican community. Stop capping about that lie too. Here we go. Here we go. Let's get back. Let's get back. Here we go. Let's get back. Let me get myself out of here. Okay. Boom. All right. Oh, we're gonna get back. We're gonna get back. Here we go. Let's get back real quick, real quick.
My roots here are practically all taken out. They're all burnt out. The school that I went to, the grammar school, is now an empty lot. But Casita still remains, you know, and it's something that this neighborhood needs.
This is who Hulk was talking about. This is who Hulk was talking about. They could have been Latina. They could have been African American. That really doesn't matter to me. What matters to me is the lying. Don't lie. The name of the place is called Casita Maria. Okay? And I read you the article about the history of Casita Maria. So what are we talking about here? Keep going.
Because actually, Casita right now is the heart of the neighborhood for the kids coming up.
Whoa, right here. Look. Casita is the heart of the neighborhood for the kids coming up. Look. Black and Hispanic children, black and Puerto Rican people, together. What? Together.
Now, if you notice, the same party on the roof where Flash and Cowboy are rocking.
Boom. Puerto Rican girl. Right there. You mean to tell me she was the only one? Oh, it's real dark, so we can't see. But you mean to tell me she was the only one?
That looked like a Puerto Rican girl doing the hustle on the roof.
We can help the kids around here. The kids will help the neighborhood.
All right. So, again, man, again. You can't make this stuff up. But the level of denial and what's painfully obvious is crazy to me. What's painfully obvious is crazy to me. Crazy to me. All right, let's look at what the chat's saying. Here we go. Randy says Simpson Street was 98% Puerto Rican. Watch the movie Fort Apache, the Bronx. Ram, when was Fort Apache, the Bronx released? What year did that movie come out? Somebody help me. What year did Fort Apache, the Bronx come out? Because I remember there was big protest by the people of the community because they didn't like the fact that they were portrayed in that kind of a way. But when did that movie come out? That's a great thing. That's a great point. That's a great point. That's a great point. Truth Teacher says, I remember Puerto Ricans dancing the hustle at the street jams. And at the end, the DJs would sometimes play salsa at the end. Nobody was tripping about ethnicity back then. And you're absolutely right. Nobody's tripping about ethnicity right now. What we're tripping about, what I'm tripping about, is the erasure. Stop lying. Stop lying. What you're doing is lying. You're lying to try to make a point, to try to make this black culture. It is not black culture. It is Bronx culture. It is black, New Yorican, and Caribbean people who created this culture together, and you don't like that. So you want to try and create these false narratives in your head about stuff that didn't exist. And I couldn't believe that I just spoke to the dude that did the Norrin Rad interview, and what he told me was crazy. And I told him, bro, you're tripping right now. I live there. He said, I live there. I live there. I was there. I saw it. Nah, bro. Nah. You ain't gonna begin to tell me that lie. You ain't gonna begin to tell me that lie. Absolutely not. No way. No way. No way. Yeah. Y'all talk amongst yourselves. Let me do something real quick. Y'all talk amongst yourselves. Let me get this off the screen. Talk amongst yourselves. Let's do this. While I gotta go do something real quick. Let me do this. Let me put on. Let's play a little bit of Simpson Street. Here we go. Let's play a little bit of Simpson Street. I'm gonna share. I'm gonna go here. And I'll be right back.
This used to be one of the most beautiful areas in the South Bronx. New immigrants in the tenements on the Lower East Side dreamed of the day they would move here. The streets were wide and clean, and the buildings had central heating and indoor plumbing. For years, the neighborhood saw successive waves of Irish, Italian, and Jewish immigrants. New York was a growing city then, and they quickly found their place in it. But as the times changed, the dream faded. This neighborhood would survive the Great Depression, but it could not survive the Long Island Expressway. New highways made the suburbs accessible, while low-cost federally insured mortgages made them affordable. Young families began leaving the old neighborhood. At first, the empty apartments were filled by a new wave of middle-class blacks and Hispanics. But unknown to them, the forces that would destroy this neighborhood were already in motion. Housing in the area was aging and in need of renovation. But with rents frozen at wartime levels, landlords could only afford minor repairs. Banks and insurance companies hastened the decay by redlining the area. The insurance coverage and bank loans essential to the survival of the neighborhood were first difficult and then impossible to obtain. The neighborhood deteriorated rapidly now, as block after block was vacated. Local politicians abandoned the area in order to follow their longtime constituents. Political boundaries were redrawn almost every year, leaving the South Bronx with little effective representation. The city began to use the South Bronx as its dumping ground. It created a welfare ghetto by flooding the area with welfare families, and then cutting back on city services. The final blow came in 1968, with the opening of Co-op City, a large government-subsidized apartment development in the North Bronx. This drained off the last of the original tenants, who took with them the last semblance of stability. Within 5 years, the neighborhood was in ruins, either burned by the landlords for the insurance money or burned by the welfare tenants themselves, who hoped to be placed in a better neighborhood, where usually the same destructive cycle was already in progress.
stop, keep going, don't stop. Say what? Say what? I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Say we are. Don't stop, keep going, don't stop. We're gonna hit the time and socialize and try to be you realize that we are qualified to rip the mind and satisfy the drink, the dice, the boogie on, the boogie on, the boogie on. TP in the round, shotgun in the round, audio in the round, the mean beat in the round, theater in the round, Billy Bell in the round, Miss Beatty in the round, everybody in the round, we in the round, fight in the round,
Well, Simpson Street is a dirty block. It's no good. This cop, he wrote a book. He wrote a book about the 40 Apaches, just the 41 precinct on Simpson Street.
What was it like where you grew up? Was it rural, farm area?
Yes, well, it was in the country, you know, rural parts. Nice place to raise children. In fact, my mother told me I was going to have so many children I shouldn't take them to the city because the city was no place to raise children. Which you find that's pretty true, in a sense, you know.
I came there at the age of 2. Lived in the basement for a while with my grandparents. From there, we lived there for about 8 years. Then that's when everything went wrong. Everything all of a sudden the whole building just went down. One little fire. There was never a fire there. And that one fire did it.
I was still working here when the building was starting to go down. I was working at I had a job at Casita Maria. I was going to Manhattan College at the time. And I left Casita for about 2 years. I got married. I had another full-time job. And during those 2 years, the whole neighborhood, I don't know, when I came back, the buildings across the street were gone. Buildings, like just the building on the block over here in the corner, the professional building was one of the prettiest buildings in the Bronx, and it was just total.
It has been like this for the last 5 years, so you must be mean like 6, 7 years ago. It was a very, very fun place to live. It was a spirit, like in the radius of these 4 blocks, it was a spirit of people, knowing people, loving people, people just living together. But because you didn't have as much fighting and gangs and all that, then you had a lot of unity among the people themselves. Like even though there was a lot of robberies and stuff of that sort, many people didn't lock their doors because you knew me and I knew you, and the junkies knew us, so they didn't bother.
And when I was coming up, everything was junkies taking needles and everything. That's how it was. But the buildings and everything were up. You just see the men on the roof, shooting dope in their arms and stuff like that. Now you hardly see that, and hardly see any buildings neither. That's how it is.
What happened to the junkies?
They went along right with the buildings when they knocked them down, or they burnt them down. That's how it went.
Before they got tore down, and they got burnt one by one, we used to, as they got burnt down, we played in them. Like when they was abandoned, we ran up and down in them, played games like Ring Levia, Roundup, bunch of friends, Mike, Stevie, KK, all of them, Mervin and them, run around up and down in them, playing games. It was fun, but then junkies started hanging out in them. Kids got scared to be out late at night. The parents kept their kids off the street. They got them off early, People wasn't out long enough, for a long amount of time. And what else? I wish they fix it quick, because my mother wants to move in, my grandparents, everybody wants to move back in. And my grandfather's trying to get the super's job again, but I doubt it, he's too old. This used to be my nickname a couple of years back. This is what's left of my hobby. My favorite hobby, pigeons.
This is all that's left of the pigeon coop. Even though the pigeons are still here, they still come back here. They come to visit every once in a while, I guess. Every time I come in here, they're always in here. I'll take you up to the roof in a while, show you what I had. Well, the super started arguing, so I put them inside my room. The lady downstairs started arguing, so I had to get rid of them once and for all. And I regret it, because, I mean, every time I used to have a problem, I would stay with my pigeons and forget about my problems. See, around here, I mean, years back, it was a lot different than now. A lot. It was more fun. I mean, fun stops as you get older.
They just telling that we destroy our own neighborhoods. If I live in a building, I'm not going to burn the building because I got the little shit I hustled for to be in there. I don't want to burn. My mother and father lived here since they were kids. I lived here when I was a kid. And now you're going to tell me go move someplace else. What for? I lived here.
I know at one time they were just about to pass these buildings on 163rd Street, the SEBCO proposal. And at that time, Roger Starr made a statement that the city plans on allowing the South Bronx to burn down. And
I don't really think people really understand. Outsiders really can't understand. This was literally our playground. This was my childhood. This was our playground. This is how we lived together, by the way. Let's keep going.
Just leave it eventually to developers. Just let it run its course.
I live right down the block on Tiffany Street, which no longer exists. My roots here are practically all taken out. They're all burnt out. The school that I went to, the grammar school, is now an empty lot. But Casita still remains, you know, and it's something that this neighborhood needs. Because actually, Casita right now is the heart of the neighborhood for the kids coming up. And if we can help the kids around here, the kids will help the neighborhood. They'll find out that they need the neighborhood, and they'll be working harder to help it.
Some ways it's getting better because, you know, all the bad people that used to live around here, like that was.
So far, the whole documentary shows a bunch of Puerto Ricans and a bunch of black people together, but there was only one Puerto Rican girl up on the roof doing the hustle with an African American. Get the heck out of here.
No, like close to us, they're going, but some of our old friends are going too. You know, and the way it's not getting that good. Nothing to do. They not building nothing. They said they was gonna build for about 4 or 5 years. They've been saying that, something like that. All they built was the schooling. And that's not even no place to go. Only place we have to go is Casita. That's where everybody hang out mostly now.
Without Casita, it's hard to say. If Casita would have burned down today.
All right. So let's go. Let's go. Here we go. Let's get back in here. Let me see what the chat's saying. JG, be quiet, man. You don't know what you're talking about. Be quiet. Be quiet, dude. You don't know what you're talking about. Be quiet. Let's see what people are saying. What up, Rand? You want to get in? You want to get in, Rand? Let me see. I was expecting my man Frank Rojas to be in here. Let's see what it is. We copy. JG, you don't even know who the Zulu Gun Hill Road crew is. You stop, dude. Oh my gosh. Stop. Beats and tapes, what's up? Yo, Rand, you want to get in? I'm going to drop the link. Let's talk a little bit about Casita Maria. Let's talk a little bit about that. Let me know, Rand, you want to get in. Okay, okay. I see you, Frank. That's what's up. So you're listening. All right. Cool, cool, cool. Let me see. Let me see who wants to get in. Anybody want to get in? Boom. You out of here. Boom. You out of here. Yeah. Let me go ahead and drop the link. Link is here. Boom. Link is here. Let's get it. I got a couple of minutes. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. The link is here. What we want to talk about is Casita Maria. That's what we want to talk about. That's what we want to talk about. Right? That's what we want to talk about. Casita Maria. Oh, I see what this dude was doing. All right, so up at the top, that's from an internet site. The person who sent this to me was from Facebook, and he's part of a he has a subscription, I believe, to the Daily News, and that's part of an internet site. So he got this archive. So see, people, this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. People are just dumb. But the link is there, y'all. If anybody wants to get in, if not, we're gonna call it a day. We're gonna call it a day. If not. Yeah, you on the subway. You ain't getting in here. Yo, man, but listen. We gonna call it a night. We're gonna call it a night. And again, Casita Maria has some history. Simpson Street, South Bronx. You can't even begin to tell me that the only people up on that roof was one Puerto Rican girl doing the hustle. Nah, man. Don't think so. You could believe those lies if you want to. You can make everything one way if you want to. That's on you. Okay? That's on you. But what we've shown you, what we've proven beyond the shadow of a doubt, is that there were definitely Puerto Ricans at the jams. At the jams. Here we go. I'm going to play it one more time. Let's get it. Let's get it. And then we're going to close it out.
This scene is taken from a documentary on Simpson Street in the South Bronx. This is where Flash and Cowboy are rocking on a neighborhood rooftop. If you notice, it seems like there's only African Americans on that rooftop. But let's look closer.
My roots here are practically all taken out. They're all burnt out. The school that I went to, the grammar school, is now an empty lot. But Casita still remains, you know, and it's something that this neighborhood needs. Because actually, Casita right now is the heart of the neighborhood for the kids coming up.
Now, if you notice, the same party on the roof where Flash and Cowboy are rocking. That looked like a Puerto Rican girl doing the hustle on the roof.
We can help the kids around here. The kids will help the neighborhood.
Simpson Street was a mixture of black and Puerto Ricans together.
I actually want to say something before we go. I've lived in black and brown communities all of my life. All of my life. I've never, ever, ever, ever seen one Puerto Rican show up to a party that was happening in the vicinity. I've never seen that once. I've never seen just one Puerto Rican show up. She looked very comfortable. I guarantee you. Again, just look at the neighborhood. Look at the kind of people that were together. And you mean to tell me now, when they went to the roof, maybe one or two of them were up there. Baloney. That's just like the gang situation. Look at the gangs, including the Puerto Ricans that were in the Black Spades from the 60s. And those gangs moved into what came to be known as hip hop, but the Puerto Ricans went another way and a couple of them hung out. So they were deep in the gangs, but when it came to hip hop, they disappeared. I think you should really go get some help. Peace.